Traders, what's up? What's up? Welcome back to another Relentless recap. Before we jump into it, do remember the disclaimer. Remember that day trading is risky, and do not use money you cannot afford to lose unless you are experienced and competent. All right. With that being said, let's talk about today's session. We are up 500 on our Thinkorswim account, and we are red 130 on our Guardian account. Not the best trading today. I will say, I'm a little disappointed. I allowed frustration to get the better of me. I didn't stay focused, didn't keep a clear head, clear mind. And ultimately, for those reasons, we did not trade to the best of our abilities. It is a little frustrating at year 5, year 6 to still come in and say something so simple. Being frustrated for missing a move. And I'm going to go straight to the archive. As usual, today started off like every other day. And, it was a really good gap scan for the most part. We had a ticker symbol PAPL. The first move going into the halt up, we didn't do the best of jobs paying attention to the scanner. We were watching at other stocks as in PRSO and some other ones. So we didn't quite get to trade this thing on the way up, which was a little disappointing, right? We did go from about 490 about 490 all the way up to 747. We came pretty late along the way. We did get up to 380 in gains after some small trades, and the resumption here is where things really and truly didn't go so well, and I got very upset. So I basically insta-buy the resumption lower, looking for the bounce, right? I literally insta-buy the resumption lower, which was a great intuition. However, what's going to mess me up here for the execution of the trade is my hold time. So I jump in there about 7:10, somewhere in there. Where do I get filled? We get filled 16. Okay, fine. This trade this trade right here is supposed to be a high of day trade. I'm supposed to hold this thing with a stop until we get back to 47. Hey, Relentless, what should your stop be? Well, we had lows of 702. Right now, my risk should be 14 cents. And I should be looking for the move back up to 40, at least high 30s. I'm in, and I'm out break even. Mistake number one. And so, and there's the move. Man, I even watching back this recap, it's like I gotta not get frustrated because Pastor, relax, calm down. Here's the move, right? So this is the issue I had with myself today. It's that how many times am I gonna make the same mistake, right? This is textbook. This is so textbook right here. And when I miss this trade, I'm gonna miss this trade again because the stock is gonna come back down. I'm going to miss this trade again. Hold up. Let's give it some time. It bounced so well at the whole dollar. There's a lot of days where these stocks will flush through and, halt down and come down some more. We take it again. And we're not going to give it any time to hold. We're not going to give it a chance. We got to let these stocks open up. Give them the time to open up. Right here, this thing has not broken down below the whole dollar at all. It's the same thing as a breakout and reclaim of the whole dollar. It's the same thing as the whole half dollar setup. It's just under a different context based off of where the resumption is. Right here, I sold. I sold in between 12 and 20 in the spread. Why? Why did I do it? I had no reason to sell. I had zero reason to sell. And this is when I got mad at myself. Like, bro, this is unacceptable. There's no way I should take the entry so well and then mismanage the trade, right? So this is why I always say on the live stream, like, the strategy is a strategy all the time. What we need to do is trade the strategy as it's written. And based off of the strategy, what is the range? We have the whole dollar by the half dollar. Support is obvious right now. be in at support, be out towards the high of the range, and I'm selling break even like some fool here. So just off those two trades where, I'm in about 1,000 shares each. We missed from 15 to 50. Even on the lower end, if we're to do 40, we're missing about 25 cents, 30 cents, and from 9 to 50 here, 40 again, we're missing now another 40 cents. About a cool 60, 70, let's say 60 cents, 65 cents on the lower end, just from mismanaging the trade. And then ultimately, I'm on those two setups, I got into my own head. I got so furious at myself for not treating the trade properly, and I ultimately just couldn't focus. At this rate right now, right here, right now, I needed to leave and come back later. I needed to just leave and come back later because I was no longer 100% locked in and focused on the level 2. And it's crazy because I've had so many days in the past where I've made a mistake or missed a trade, and it's like, hey, on to the next opportunity, on to the next trade. So I got to do a much better job next week, Monday, moving forward. And something we used to mention more is also letting the discipline compound, right? Because we can't revert back to something that we fixed already, right? We fixed this issue 50 times to then only 3 days later, 1 week later, have the issue again. 2 days later, the next day. And so what separates a good trader, an amateur trader, from an expert trader, a pro trader, is being able to stretch out their mistakes, right? You have to stretch out your mistakes, and that's what I need to do. Because at the end of the day, we're humans, we are flawed, we're not going to be perfect every time. But at least, hey, once a week, once every 6 days, once every 8 days, once every 10 days, versus every other day. And then you find yourself in this revolving door of insanity because you're making the same silly mistake. So next week, we got to pull out the notebook here as we're going. What's so crazy is that when I take this trade, and I had a call with Steve today, right? When I take this trade and I lose on this trade, I feel nothing. And why is that? Well, the reason why is because we took the setup and we treated the setup how we were supposed to treat it. If this thing drops down to 690, or even if it teleports down to 650 and it ends up not holding, fair game. Fair game. A lot of the halt trades are sometimes 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio, but what can give us the edge is staying disciplined to the strategy, and a lot of the times having that follow through, we're going to be on the other side, right? Especially under a bullish market. So I'm going to write down into my notebook here, first bullet point, which is to have more patience in the trade. And also, if you end up missing an opportunity for one reason or another, stay focused. No time to slack off. All right. So, the stock ended up going all the way from $7.70. I think we got up to $8. At one point we're up about 600. I think that's basically where we had our highs. We had 850. And right here I started to talk about maybe the uptrend might be over. We might be in backside territory. And I believe was that backside? No, we ended up having another curl. Oh, here's the next thing. Red to greens are giving V-shaped recovery. Red to green. This has been happening all week long. Let me pause it so I can come back. Hold up. Gotta pay attention for the quick red to green, because once this thing bottoms out down here at like 340, once this next green candle comes in, once the 1 minute candle makes the new high, it's a game on right here. 360, and this thing is not gonna look back. So taking at least the starter position and holding, because you capture these trades here, you're up $1,000, you're doing what you're supposed to do. You throw out, let's say, hey, I'm gonna go small size here. I'm not super sure if this thing wants to give a range at the lows or not. 1,000 shares right there, 1 minute candle makes a new high. right? The high was 57. Does it give us a chance to stop out? The low of the candle is 54. Does this break below 54? No, it doesn't. Takes off. It takes off. It absolutely takes off. And so not paying in attention in areas like that, you can see very costly. 350 up to 410. And I'm missing that entire move, a little lackadaisical on the pullback. And from there, the stock continues a quick 3-bar play at the highs, and it keeps going. No major pullback into the previous lows, into the previous resistance. It continues onwards. It continues in this uptrend here, I think, for a little bit more. And then it ended up, I think then, did we see another leg? We might have seen another leg even. Let's skip ahead here. Did we see another leg, or was that it? Let's see. So we ended up having a quick red to green there as well. And we had a rejection candle. I think it's going to give another leg if I remember correctly. Man, we could have done way better on this stock. A lot of chop, a lot of churn here. But I think the move... Okay, so this is what's going to happen. Early in this candlestick, I noticed the volume, and I didn't jump in. I didn't jump back in right here because I'm fishing for this trade all along. And right here, as it starts to rip mid-20s, didn't take the entry. It ends up pushing up to 50. And if you guys look on the live stream, I'm like face palming. And just, you know, I got to write that down. No face palming, man. No face palming. My professor in high school, shout out to Halverson, told me putting your head on the table, putting your face in your palm, it's a sign of weakness, and it's a sign of disrespect. It's a sign of weakness for yourself. It's a sign of disrespect for the teacher. Gotta, you know, there's no reason in this game of trading to ever take our eyes off the road. Not until it's recap time. Can I now say, hey, let me go, you know, do X, Y, Z. Now I can do whatever because markets are closed. I can pause this video, start it again. In the moment, there is no pausing. And so right here, if you look at the live stream, I'm like, you know, I'm so frustrated I didn't catch that bigger move going up there into the false breakout. Because my plan would have been, hey, in mid-20s and out, you know, towards the highs. Instead, I'm just mad. And then look at what's going to happen here 1 minute later. The stock holds up the previous lows. If I'm paying attention to the stock, if I'm paying attention to the candlesticks, these are things you can notice. And again, even if you're not super confident, this is where the starter size can come in clutch. Put yourself in a driver's seat here at the lows. And then guess what? The 1 minute candle makes a new high. It's a good opportunity to potentially add. Bro, it's here for the taking. And right here, it doesn't collapse back down quickly instead of trying to get in all the way up at 40. It's like I could have been in at 4, adding at 415, and now scaling out rather than even trying to capture the move this high up. No face palming. Pay attention during the false breakouts. Bro, if I traded to the best of my abilities today, I would have been up like crazy, man. It's just so insane how disciplined you have to be. And the moment you slack off, the market is here to get you. All right, so that was pretty much this one. And I think after this move, it was finished. No, it went again. It went again. I don't remember if I'd calmed down at this point. Did I? I can't remember if I'd calmed down already. Maybe I did. I can't remember. But anyhow, it took me a while to calm down and like actually like, you know, be patient. So that was HOUR. PAPL early, as we saw, you know, we had the 2 resumption trades. We really had a chance to go up nicely and position ourselves to be very aggressive here. I mean, you know, if I trade PAPL well, nice 1K plus start to the day, and then a stock like HOUR comes along, and you're in rhythm, you're disciplined, you're not looking away, you're not frustrated, you're capturing the moves, it compounds very quickly, right? It becomes exponential because when you catch the first trade, you're no longer playing around with small size in the second, flag up here. It's like once this gets ready to go and you're paying attention to these setups, more than likely it's nothing but size getting ready to come. And so as we give this breakout that's going to come here, and this is a false breakout, but there's room to sell into the spike. You're not upset. You're still watching. You get back in low. You add. Boom. Stock keeps going. Textbook trading here, opportunity, and me trading and fumbling due to nonsense like frustration in one small area where I could have had the chance to easily come back and be strong green. So the key is to be consistent and be one way all the time, man. Can't revert back to these same mistakes steady and often. We're humans. Can things happen? Yes, but gotta stretch it out. Few and far apart. Is that the saying? Whatever the saying is, right? They need to be stretched out and not be occurring frequently. That's the key. So Monday I have my bullet points, and another thing is too, when we come in on Monday, we got to do a very early game plan and read. I need to read these bullet points to myself during market open. Because ultimately, like, I don't need to go through the fine details, because these things are what I like to call intangible, right? Of course, will I watch the entire video on Sunday just for the sake of going through the charts and just being, even more familiar and in tune with the tape? Yes, but the biggest thing is the intangible things, staying locked in, staying locked in, not getting frustrated. And another thing I got to be careful of is also recapping instead of looking for the next stock when something sells off. Careful of recapping. Be careful of recapping. I'm going to promise the audience right now, man. I know it's been some brutal trading. It's been a rough patch. We've been in this sideways consolidation for months. I will get to the other side of this. I will get back to a more refined version of myself. And when I do, be ready for all the greatness that's going to happen. Be ready for the record days. Be ready for the record weeks. Be ready for the record months. Be ready for consistent RT. I'm not going to stop. And I'm going to keep pushing forward no matter what. So a quick recap here, showing some archives, showing some videos, going through some of the I mean, we traded terribly. All things considered. And we're up $900. It's like, it just tells you the awesomeness of the field that we're in. I mean, this field is like, I don't care if you read on the week, read on the month, read on the year. Like, you have to freaking love trading, because I made $400 today, right? It's not a lot of money, and we traded awful. It just goes to show you, when the markets are hot, that it's forgiving, right? You have time to recover. You have time to gain something out of the day, versus when it's cold and really bad, red day recap, big red day recap. And so in these hotter markets, once we're focused and we're doing what we're supposed to do, it's going to really show and pay off in the long run. And so, no matter where you are in your trading, keep fighting, keep working, stay positive, stay motivated. But it is going to come down to us making these decisions and improvements in the moment. We can talk big and mighty now, but in the moment, Monday morning, next trading day, that's where we have to put forward our best effort. That's where we have to recall on the things that happened to us negatively and choose the other pathway. On Monday, next week, the fork in the road will present itself, because that's what the market is. It'll put you into the same revolving door situation and force you to keep choosing. Are we going to choose the right path or the wrong path? And so We have to choose the right path. I will choose the right path. Do what's right by the strategy. Do what's right by discipline, and move forward with consistency. So I'm looking forward to next week. I'm ready to go. I'm gonna study up even some more on Sunday. I'm gonna dial it in. I'm gonna get it done. So hit that thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Relentless Trader will be here always. All right. Catch you guys in the next one.